New York Yankees. Don Mattingly at first, Willie Randolph at second, Bobby Meacham at short, Andre Robertson at third, Sample, Henderson, and Winfield in the outfield, Weiniger behind the plate, and Ron Guidry, looking for his 18th win of the year, goes up against the Oakland A's, the team that beat him last time in Oakland, but earlier in the year in Oakland, Guidry had a 13-1 victory. And we're ready for baseball as Griffin steps in, and here's Bill.
All right, Spencer, and the ball game is underway. Alfredo Griffin, a switch hitter, takes that Guidry slider low and in. Alfredo Griffin batting .274, 2 home runs, 59 runs batted in. In addition, he stolen 19 bases this year for the Oakland Athletics. That's a strike, 1-1. We mentioned Minnesota beating Toronto 6-3. That's a final, so the Yankees are now just 2 back. In the right field, Winfield with a long run, and he'll get to it. Dave Winfield in the corner for the first out. Ball really carries the right field here in the stadium.
It has been carrying, but look at those strides.
Dave started toward the line. All of a sudden, the wind caught the ball and carried it toward the fence, and he makes that U-turn right here. As you mentioned, those long strides.
And he gets after it, and there's one man away.
This is Tony Phillips, the third baseman. .265 hitter, a home run, a run batted in, hit it right here in the stadium. And a ball.
The umpires tonight, Larry Barnett behind the plate, Bill. Rocky Rowe at first base, Dale Ford at second, and Ken Kaiser moves over to third base.
That's a strike. It's 1-1. Guidry's 117, lost 5. He is tied for the league lead in wins with Brett Saberhagen of the Kansas City Royals. 1-2 on Phillips. Saberhagen's a young kid who gives the Yankees fits.
Gives a lot of people fits. 21 years of age and 17 wins, and he's helped to bring the Kansas City Royals back in that American League Western race.
1-2 on Tony Phillips. He's also a switch hitter. Guidry has 108 strikeouts this year in 213 innings.
You remember Guidry's last start against Seattle, he did not have his best stuff, and kind of get an idea of how Guidry feels depending on how many walks he takes behind the mound to try and get his act together.
Chop foul off first base. And it's still 2-2 on Tony Phillips. Don Mattingly making the play in foul ground.
Louisiana Lightning. I was saying the last start, when he had those problems, Guidry has conversations with himself. He'll take a walk back behind the mound, just as he did right there. The further he walks and the more often he does it, the more problems he seems to be having. 2-2
on Phillips. That'll be a base hit over Meacham's head into left center field. Sample will play it in, and Tony Phillips has the game's first base hit with 1 out in the top of the first. Guidry will now pitch to the left fielder, Steve Henderson. Henderson batting .328, 2 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Yankees have beaten the A's the first 2 games of this series, and they're now tied for the season series at 5 games apiece. And it wouldn't surprise me here, Spencer, if Jackie Moore doesn't go to the hit and run. He'd like to get on the board first. He'd like to probably get his people to be a little more aggressive. And Henderson can handle a bat well, especially to right field. That's high, ball 1 to Steve Henderson. Started with Cincinnati, played for the Mets, as we looked at Clete Boyer, the third base coach. Henderson also played with the Cubs, the Seattle Mariners, and now with the Oakland A's.
And he went to the Mets in that deal that sent Tom Seaver to Cincinnati.
Phillips back easily. No score, top of the first. National League score. Montreal beat the Giants 7-1 in San Francisco.
Mets were beaten 7-6 in L.A. So right now they're 2 behind the Cardinals.
And the Red Sox beat Cleveland twice, 11-9 and 7-4. Check that at 7-4 scores in the 8th inning of the second game. Both Sox won the first game 11-9. They lead the nightcap 7-4 in the 8th. Right now, the Red Sox 4 games under 500. Should they win the nightcap, they'll be 3 under. But they're out of it. 1-0 on Henderson. 2-0. Mentioned the Dodgers edging the Mets 7-6. Chicago beat Cincinnati 9-7. Philly shut out San Diego 2-0. Got to check and see what Pete Rose did in that Cincinnati-Chicago game. Pete went in 3 back of Ty Cobb. Ball 3. 3-0 on Henderson.
There is a bit of a dispute as to just how many base hits Ty Cobb really came up with.
Someone mentioned that to me today. We're over out on Long Island at a card show.
Back in his, I believe, his first or second year, he apparently been credited with 1 extra hit. But when Bowie Kuhn was commissioner, he decided to allow it stand when it was brought to his attention. Who are you going to check with? Who's there?
I think when it's over, Rose is going to have quite a few more anyway. Although he would have done it in quite a few more years. It's still runner going in the right upper deck, foul. 3-2 on Henderson, and Phillips will have to go back. Billy Williams coaching first base for Oakland, and Clete Boyer over at third. 3-2 on Steve Henderson. Runner going. Meacham, Bime, base hit, and Phillips is going for third. And Sample decides to hold on to the baseball and flip it into second base. So Tony Phillips goes to third on a single through the left side by Steve Henderson. And the A's have runners on the corners. We watch it again.
Here it is. You'll see Meacham come over, and the ball is going to take a hop on him. Watch this. It just goes by into left field. Whoops, came up a little higher than I think Meacham thought it was going to. By the time Sample came up with it, Phillips just never stopped around second and made it into third. So runners at the corners now, 1 out, and Dave Kingman will step in.
Kingman hitting .238, 26 home runs, 76 runs batted in. Yankee infield playing for 2. And Quinn Kingman swings over that slider for a strike.
He's been struggling, too, for his last 23, and we've seen a lot of swings like that from Dave Kingman in this series. Not that big power-packed stroke that he so often displays.
Strike 2 on Kingman. Guidry trying to K the King. He's struck out 99 times so far this year, Kingman has, in 513 at-bats. He's also hit 26 baseballs out of the park and driven in 76 runs. So the count is 0-2. Phillips at third, Henderson at first base with 1 away. And caught by Robertson, no play. 2 outs. Phillips got back to third base, and Henderson quickly back to first.
The ball was hit so hard that Phillips really didn't have time to take off from third. But right to Robertson, you see Phillips immediately retreating. And Robertson has no play, and Henderson on first base. So now there are 2 men away. And still runners at first and third. And Dusty Baker will step in.
Dusty Baker batting .284, 14 home runs and 49 runs batted in. This has a lot of English. Randolph corrals it, though, and the side is retired. Tough play for Willie Randolph as that ball was really spinning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left on base. 1/2 inning of play has been played. Oakland nothing, and the Yankees are coming up.
base tonight. Michael Gallego is the second baseman. Alfredo Griffin, the shortstop. The third baseman is Tony Phillips. The outfield, Steve Henderson in left, Mike Davis in center. And the rookie who really hammered the ball last night, Jose Canseco, is out in right field. Mike Heath behind the plate. And the veteran left-hander, Tommy John, who started the season in California. As Bill mentioned earlier, the Yankees beat him in Anaheim 6-1, but just a little more than a week ago out in Oakland, Tommy John pitched 7 shutout innings against the Yankees, gave up only 3 hits. Steve Ontiveros finished up, and the A's came away with a 3-0 victory in the wrap-up of that 2-game series. Overall, John is 4-6 on the year, and the Yankees will send to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning Ricky Henderson, Don Mattingly, and Dave Winfield. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and WPIX and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment thereof without the express written consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. Ricky Henderson to lead it off against Tommy John. Henderson trying to snap out of a batting slump and did it a bit last night with a 2-for-3 night, including 2 bases on balls. So it'll be Henderson, Mattingly, and Winfield against Tommy John. It's an interesting side back there. Mattingly, MVP.
Well, some of these fans here have been chanting that whenever Mattingly goes to bat. Here's Henderson batting at .330, 20 home runs, 59 runs batted in. And he will also get some votes in the MVP race. Ricky Henderson, in addition to batting .330, leading the league in runs scored with 116. He has 62 stolen bases, which also leads the league. And the count is 2-0. If the Yankees are patient now, they make Tommy John throw strikes. And I think they learned that after John and Ontiveros shut him out in Oakland. Latter innings, they were making John throw strikes. That ball sunk down low. It's 3-0.
It looks good until a few feet from the plate.
And Henderson walks on 4 pitches. Got to have a lot of patience with Tommy John. And you also got to make him bounce around on the mound. Doesn't hurt to bunt on him once in a while and make him bounce off the mound. And here's Don Mattingly. Bunting doesn't go for him.
No. Let's give him the bat. Let him do anything he wants.
27 home runs for Don Mattingly. 115 runs batted in. That's tops in the American League. He's batting at .325. He's the 4th best hitter in the American League. 5th in home runs. There goes Henderson, and he'll be safe. Bogue is in the center field. Davis throws well, and not in time. A stolen base and an error on Mike Heath. And the Yankees have Henderson at third base with nobody out.
Well, here you see it. First pitch, Mattingly takes, and Mike Heath's throw way over the head of Alfredo Griffin. Henderson gets up quickly, looks over his shoulder, and as you said, Bill, Mike Davis has a good arm, but Henderson in there in time.
What made that play, Spencer, normally Ricky Henderson goes into head first, goes into second head first. That time he did what we call a stand-up slide. He hit, got right up, saw the ball in center field, went on to third base. Count is 1-0 on Mattingly. That curve is high, 2-0. Lately, Henderson has been using that slide. He hasn't been sliding head first. Should be far enough, although we mentioned Davis can throw the ball well. He gets a good move. It's going to be close, but Henderson scores. And the Yankees now lead 1-0. Mattingly's 116th run batted in.
Here is Mike Davis making the play, and this ball not hit that deeply. His throw is off the line, though, and Henderson comes in to score his 117th run of the season. That's the most by a Yankee since both Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris had 132 in 1962. And as far as RBIs are concerned, with that 116 for Don Mattingly, he could become the first Yankee to lead the American League since Roger Maris back in 1961 when he hit 142.
And Ricky Henderson has scored 43 of those 116 RBIs. Winfield fakes a bunt. And it's a strike. He's got Tony Phillips, the third baseman, way behind third. Dave hitting at .277, 22 home runs, 95 runs batted in. 1-0 Yankees on a walk, a stolen base, an error, and a sacrifice flies. We'll look at the left side of the A's infield. 1-1 on Winfield. Everybody else playing Winfield more or less straight away. Curves a strike, 1-2. Dave Winfield having a Dave Winfield year. Excellent job in the field. Hitting with power. Driving in runs. Throwing people out. And getting base hits. And that'll be extra bases. A fan touched the ball. It's a double. Winfield going down and raking one into the left field corner. A fan touched it, and he'll get a double.
Getting base hits indeed. Winfield strokes it over the third baseman's head into the corner. And you see it skidded up really into the stand. And was touched by that fan, came back into play, and Steve Henderson picks it up. But Winfield is in with a double. He's in scoring position. Still only one man out, and Don Baylor steps in.
Baylor hitting a .235, 21 home runs and 82 runs batted in. Sometimes Tommy John has no problem with free swingers. He gets the ball down. It's a ball to Baylor.
Baylor had a big home run in the opening game of this series. It's an interesting statistic there.
That curves a strike. It's 1-1. Over their last 18 games, the Yankees have hit 28 home runs. The reason? Well, the leadoff man has hit 20. Mattingly's hit 27. He bats second. So we look at Winfield at second. He has 22 home runs, and Baylor has 21. It's 2 balls and a strike on Don Baylor. Tommy John, when you don't swing at the bad pitch, he has problems. Into center field. Mike Davis is there. And there are 2 outs. So Baylor's guy is to Davis in center field for the second out. Winfield holds second base.
Billy Sample.
And we'll get Billy Sample, the Yankee left fielder. Sample batting .287, 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. Sample coming to the Yankees from the Texas Rangers for Toby Harrah. Harrah going back home to Texas and having a good year. Sample doing an excellent job filling in for the Yankees. This is his 52nd game. He's been up 122 times, has 35 base hits. And the count 1-0. 2-0. Dave Winfield being held at second base by Mike Gallego. It's 2-1. Seattle and Detroit tied 2-2. That game in the third. Now the Cleveland-Boston doubleheader is over, and the Red Sox have won both games. Curve misses. 3-1.
Billy Samples filled a good role on this New York Yankee ball club this year. Playing the field when needed. Coming up with some nice base hits. His bat has been helpful.
Phillips at third. He throws out Sample, and that'll retire the side. Yankees pick up a run on a base hit. They leave a man. We played 1, and the Yankees lead Oakland 1-0.
Afternoon here at the stadium as Phil Niekro goes for number 299, and tickets for all Yankee home games on sale at the Stadium Advance ticket window 7 days a week and at all Tri-State Ticket World outlets. Call Ticket World toll free at 1-800-682-8080 for credit card orders and more information. That's 1-800-682-8080. Top of the second inning, Yankees getting a run across in the bottom half of the first inning, and Jose Canseco, the rookie up from Tacoma, will step in against Ron Guidry. Bill?
Canseco, and he can swing the bat.
He hit a ball last night. He was jammed by Bob Shirley and hit a towering drive to center field, sent Ricky Henderson back to the warning track. He hit 11 home runs at Tacoma and 25 in Huntsville this year. That's double-A ball, so 36 home runs this season.
0-2 on Jose Canseco. He's been up 3 times since he's been called up by Oakland. He's looking for his first base hit.
Batting practice last night, he clobbered the ball, and tonight over the monuments he slugged one. This kid has power. He was born in Cuba, raised in Miami.
Still 0-2 on Canseco. He'll be followed by Mike Davis, the center fielder, and then Mike Heath, the catcher. 3 Mikes in the bottom third of the Oakland A's lineup. Batting 7th, Mike Davis. Batting 8th, Mike Heath. Batting 9th, Mike Diego. Yankees leading 1-0. We're in the second, and the count is 1-2 on Canseco. Mentioned the Boston-Cleveland scores. 11-9 Boston in the opener. 7-4 Boston in the nightcap. Strike 3. A slider got the outside corner. Guidry chalks up his first strikeout of the night.
Well, Canseco digging in, and he had eyes to bring the bat around, but it's taken for called. Thrice strike 3, and there's 1 man away.
Mike Davis, the center fielder, hitting .293, 22 home runs, 74 runs batted in. Guidry has a good slider going so far tonight. Rolling in the second, and the Yankees have given Guidry a 1-0 lead. The count, no balls and a strike on Davis. 0-2. Atlanta playing the Cardinals in St. Louis. No score there in the second inning. The Mets have lost, so they're right now 2 back, depending on what the Cardinals do. Lifted shallow left. Meacham calling the shortstop for out number 2. California's taken a 1-0 lead over Baltimore in the third. How about those Kansas City Royals?
Yeah, they've come back. They just Quisenberry, and the amazing thing, they're doing it now without Willie Wilson, and they're continuing to win their ball games. Half a game up on California going into play today after sweeping a doubleheader last night.
Mike Heath, the catcher, hitting .233, 10 home runs and 41 runs batted in. Change in their first strike. Mickey Tettleton and Mike Heath sharing the catching duties. Mike's had a bad leg. Through Andre Robertson right through his legs. And Heath will have to hold at first base. We mentioned he's running on a bad wheel. And he gets the first on an error charged to Andre Robertson.
Well, you watch it right here. Heath swings at a pitch. It's dropping way out of the strike zone. And Andre just appeared not to get down on the ball. And it goes right through him for the yard.
Well, lately he's had some slow reactions at third base. Last 3 or 4 ball games.
Second base, number 9.
Mike Gallego, the second baseman. He's been up 22 times, has 2 base hits and a run batted in. 2 outs. And a strike. Mattingly could play behind Heath at first base. We mentioned he's limping. And I don't think he's going to run. Two strikes on Gallego.
Bottom just seems to be dropping out of the ball. Skidry puts it up there. The slider. Give it that change. Just dropped down beautifully.
Yankees leading 1-0. We're in the second inning. Struck him out with a fastball. Got a piece of it. Held by Butch Weiniger. No runs, no hits, 1 error. 1 man left on base. After 1.5 innings of play, the Yankees 1, Oakland nothing. Let's pause for station identification.
With the Yankees leading the Oakland A's by a score of 1-0. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock start. An opportunity for you fans to get out and see Phil Niekro shoot for career victory number 299. Yankees now 2 games behind Toronto as the Blue Jays were beaten by Minnesota today, a score of 6-3. Andre Robertson, Willie Randolph, and Butch Weiniger to step up to the plate against Tommy John. Bill?
All right, Spencer. Andre has been up 83 times, 31 base hits. He's batting .373 with 2 home runs and 15 runs batted in. And the count's 1-0. Base hit into the left field corner. Over there quickly, Henderson. And he's going to have him. Steve Henderson making a 1-hop throw to the second baseman, Mike Gallego. And there's 1 down. Single to left. Throw out 7-4. Here it is again.
Well, here it is, and you see Henderson coming over quickly as he moves toward the line. And Robertson, who doesn't run that well, but Henderson fires it in a second. There's no doubt about it. 1 bounce, and Gallego puts the tag on as Robertson is out by a good 5 to 10 feet.
Willie Randolph takes the strike. Henderson played that ball well. He didn't backhand the ball. He went around the ball so he could square up and throw the ball into second base. He could have timed it, backhanded it, and his momentum would have carried him away from second base, and Robertson might have gotten in safely.
This way he was coming in on the ball.
Squared up. 2 balls and a strike on Willie Randolph. Willie batting .280, 5 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Yankees have a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the second with 1 out, nobody on base against Tommy John and the Oakland Athletics. Phillips backs up and he's out. Looked like Dusty Baker might have bobbled the ball, but he controlled it. 2 outs.
Watch Phillips here. He's caught in between. Come in or back up on, and that's what he did. Now watch Baker. Tough to tell right there since his back was toward us. And we watch it again from this angle. I don't know.
Well, Rocky Rowe had a good angle. He's the first base umpire. Butch Weiniger's up. 2 balls, no strikes on Weiniger. That's high.
Yankees were taking a lot of pitches in the first inning. First 2 batters here did not.
And that's a strike. You know, if you go up and you take 4 pitches against Tommy John, you can almost be guaranteed the count's going to be 3-1. And that's ball 4. Weiniger walks. He will not throw strikes unless he just simply has to. Normally you'll swing at a bad pitch. Bobby Meacham, the 9th Yankee batter of the ball game. hitting a .228, a home run, 41 runs batted in.
And you'd have to be very surprised if Meacham comes up and swings at the first pitch here against John.
Well, you know, sometimes players think about hitting, sometimes they don't. And that's a strike. Sometimes a pitcher will get you out 4 or 5 straight times in the same game the same way, and you go back and yell at him, why don't you get the ball over, or why don't you throw harder, or why don't you throw strikes? Yet he's tricked you 4 straight times.
And he says to himself, why the heck you swinging at the ball for? Don't say it out loud.
Well, Don Drysdale always said hitters aren't too smart. Of course, he's 6'5", he can say that. 2 strikes on Meacham with Weininger at first and 2 outs. Yankees leading 1-0 over Oakland. We're in the bottom of the second. Weininger not a threat to steal either. One and 2. Yankees got their run in the first. Henderson walked, stole second, went to third when he's throwing into center field, and he scored on Don Mattingly's sacrifice fly to center field. Mattingly's 116th run batted in, and for Rickey Henderson, his 117th run scored. Tommy John pitched for the Yankees between 79 and 82. Overall, John has 259 wins, 203 losses. He's 32nd on the all-time win list. Phillips again at third. He'll play at the first. And the side is retired. No runs, a base hit, and a man left on base. At the end of 2, Yankees lead Oakland 1-0.
Rizzuto or a Yankee Stadium. We move to the 3rd inning. 3rd game of this 4-game set. Tomorrow afternoon, Phil Niekro against Jose Rio. And we start off the 3rd inning. The top of the A's batting order, Alfredo Griffin against Ron Guidry. Yankees lead it 1-0.
And Griffin fouls the first pitch back, strike 1. Alfredo has been up once, fly to Winfield in right field. Winfield had to move into the corner to make the catch. Switch hitter. Batting right. Check swing foul. 2 strikes on Griffin.
For a leadoff hitter, he's not what you'd call a patient one. He's walked only 20 times all season. Of course, the fellow in Toronto does the same thing. Garcia.
Yeah. Well, when they were together at Toronto, they'd bet Garcia first and Griffin 9th. They both left the bench swinging. 0-2. Out of play. Now the A's people really rave about what Alfredo Griffin has done for their ball club. Not only has he done a good job settling the infield down, but off the field, evidently, he's helped the A's. That's high.
And what we see on the field in the near dozen games that the Yankees have played the A's, it's evident. He hits the ball well. He makes the good plays in the field. Exciting player.
1-2. Out of play. It's amazing the kid who took his place at Toronto, Tony Fernandez, and Alfredo Griffin from the same hometown, San Pedro de Macorís in Santo Domingo.
Still say I'd like to put together a team just from the people who were born in that town. They have a pretty good ball club.
Joaquin Andujar.
Pitch him every 4 days, 5 days. Pedro Guerrero.
Still a ball and 2 strikes on Alfredo Griffin. Cardinals lead Atlanta 1-0 in the 3rd. That's a base hit into center field. Ball really down and in. And Alfredo Griffin somehow looped it into center field. Base hit number 3 for the Oakland Athletics.
Here you'll see it again, that pitch in on his hands. He just kind of golfs at it like he's sitting out of a sand trap. He strokes it into center field.
And here's Tony Phillips. Phillips single to left in the 1st inning. Nobody out. We're in the 3rd. Yankees 1, Oakland 0. That's foul off 3rd.
And a pretty good bunt. Fortunately for the Yankees, it went foul. Robertson's coming a little more now at 3rd base. Just on the edge of the dirt.
You got to be ready there at 3rd. Ball really gets to you quickly, a lot quicker than it gets to you at short. A low. 1-1. Ron Guidry looking for his 17th win. He's won for his 18th win. He's won 17, lost 5 this year. Phillips swung over that slider.
Yankees #1 farm club, Bill. Columbus Clippers leading Syracuse 2-1 in their best-of-5 series. And tonight, Columbus looking to wrap it up. They lead 4-1 that game in the 4th inning.
And right here, we're in the top of the 3rd. Yankees lead 1-0. Guidry has a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Tony Phillips with Alfredo Griffin at first base. Still 1-2. Phillips has played short, second, and third for Oakland. Seems to have found a home at 3rd base. At shortstop, he could not handle the ball hit right to him. Out of play.
He played some second base last year, but the whole A's infield this year, Phillips was out most of the season, but with Griffin at shortstop, Donnie Hill has had a real fine year at second base. He's out of the lineup now with a foot injury. And people like Bhakti and Dusty Baker, veterans, have kept them pretty near the top, although it doesn't look like they're going to overtake either Kansas City or California.
Time is called by home plate umpire Larry Barnett. Carney Lansford, the regular third baseman, is out. Ball game slowing down just a bit here in the 3rd, with the Yankees leading 1-0 over Oakland. Alfredo Griffin led off with a single, and the count on Tony Phillips is 1 ball and 2 strikes. There are no outs. Milwaukee's taken a 1-0 lead over Kansas City in the 1st. Foul off 3rd. Spencer mentioned the Royals now a half game ahead of California in the American League West. Oakland 8 back. Toronto has lost, so the Yankees now 2 behind the Blue Jays in the American League East. Runners going. Ball inside, and he'll be safe at second base. Alfredo Griffin has just stolen his 20th base. And it's 2-2 on Tony Phillips.
And Willie Randolph had to go up high to take this throw from Butch Weiniger. As you see it right here, but even if that throw's on the money, Griffin looks like he has it beat. So the A's have a runner in scoring position. Still nobody out here in the top of the 3rd, and the count is 2-2 on Tony Phillips.
Good play by Griffin. He really got a good jump as Meacham throws out Phillips with Griffin going to third. Normally, you don't want your runner running if the ball hits to the shortstop, but Alfredo got a good jump.
And there was no way that Meacham could get him at third. And it took a real strong throw by Bobby Meacham. There you see Griffin coming down the line, moving to third base. And Meacham's throw over to first base gets Tony Phillips for the first out.
And Griffin now over third base talking to Clete Boyer's third base coach. And here's Steve Henderson. And the Yankees will bring their infield in. About 3/4 for Henderson, who singled to left in the first inning. Yankees 1-0 lead in jeopardy here in the third. Guidry has to reach back and get a little extra. And that's a foul.
This is the key man right here. Yankees with that 1-0 lead. You see Willie Randolph, he's shortened up a bit at second base. Bobby Meacham back in normal depth at shortstop.
Gene Michael normally sets the Yankee infield. Of course, after consulting with Martin, and this is what he has done. There's Martin. Two strikes on Steve Henderson. Guidry in the game has struck out 2, has not walked a batter, and leads 1-0. We're in the third. One and two. That's a waste pitch. Alfredo Griffin there at third base. Struck him out. He went too far. Henderson tried to check a swing on a slider, dipping down and in. Big strikeout for Guidry, his third.
And that slider is dropping down, and you see Henderson go around just a little bit too far. Strikeout number 3 for Guidry, who continues to get ahead of the hitters. 1-2 on Griffin, 1-2 on Phillips, and striking out Henderson on a 1-2 pitch. And here's Dave Kingman. 1-0 Yankees lead. We're in the top of the third inning.
Kingman line to Robertson for the second out in the first inning. The Oakland A's had runners at first and third, just one down, and he hit a shot to Andre Robertson. Both runners got back as we watch that one strike pitch again. That'll be out of play. Will not come back for Weiniger. No balls, 2 strikes on Kingman.
Happy-go-lucky fella. He can hit the ball, though.
Yep.
And he is happy now out in Oakland.
One and two. Off of Robertson's glove. He still has it. Nope, he'll hold on to it. He might have had a chance because Kingman got a late start. But the run scores, and we're all tied 1-1. Once again, Robertson, slow reactions at third base.
Well, that will undoubtedly, no, they're going to call it a base hit. They could just as easily have given him an error as he had that ball in his glove. It popped out. It was hit hard.
Didn't have to jump for it, though.
Nope. Was hit hard. So it'll go as a run and an earned run against Ron Guidry and a base hit for Dave Kingman.
Here's Dusty Baker, the first baseman. Baker's been up once, grounded to Randolph. A base hit and a run batted in. Had Andre come up firing, he still might have gotten Kingman. Kingman simply wasn't hustling toward first. He had assumed Robertson was going to catch a ball. Strike one.
Well, Andre committed an error on Mike Heath in the second inning on a ground ball that he simply just didn't get down on quickly enough, and it went right through his legs.
Strike two on Baker. Dusty Baker.
Guidry's gone 0-2 or 1-2 on every batter this inning. That's a tremendous advantage for a pitcher.
Popped up right side. Willie Randolph is calling. Second baseman puts it away, and the side is retired. A run on 2 hits and a man left. Going to the bottom of the third. It's tied. Yankees 1, Oakland 1.
PM, take home a free Yankee scarf, compliments of Citibank. The big series is on its way into New York Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make plans now while good seats are available. The Yankees against the Blue Jays. Bill?
Ricky Henderson takes the strike from Tommy John. Ricky leading off for the Yankees in the bottom of the third. The A's have tied it at 1. 1-1. Henderson walked in the first, stole second, went to third when he's throwing in the center field and scored on Don Mattingly's sacrifice fly. 2 balls and a strike on Henderson. Ricky faked a bunt. I can't remember once this year where Henderson has bunted for a base hit.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one either, Bill.
Or attempted to bunt for a base hit even. Mike Davis, a long run. He'll get there. Just shy of the warning track in deep left center for the first out.
Well, Henderson got good wood in the ball. There's a lot of room out there in center field, and there's one man away. And Don Mattingly, who increased his American League RBI lead with a sacrifice fly in his first at bat, will step in.
He now has 11 more runs batted in than Eddie Murray. Murray has 105. Cal Ripken now in third place with the Baltimore Orioles. He has 97. Pretty good 1-2 punch, Ripken and Murray, or Murray and Ripken.
Winfield is fourth. Just about a week ago, remember, Bill, Murray had moved within 2 of
And he got as close as 1 also.
Yeah, right.
105 to 104, but Mattingly has gone on a tear. It's 2-0 on Don Mattingly. Including a 3-run home run last night, along with another 3-run shot off the bat of Dan Pasqua.
Over the last week, Bill, last Sunday, as we watched this pitch get away from Tommy John, last Sunday it's a 2-run home run against California. Yankees are trailing. They come back and win. Against Seattle, a 2-run homer. They're trailing. They come back and win. And last night, a 3-run home run. So he has done it all.
And it's 3-1 on Mattingly. Dusty Baker at first. He'll have to give it to John. 2 outs. That's amazing. When Tommy was winning all those ball games, everybody wanted to see the baseball. Now that he's become a 500 pitcher or a little bit less, they don't care.
That's right. Whatever you throw, and they've been hitting. Although they did have that good ball game against the Yankees, but then he came back 5 days later and didn't make it out of the second inning against Baltimore as the A's were beaten by a score of 12-4. And when you get 6 runs and 6 hits and an inning and a third off a pitcher, you don't want to. I don't want to look at the baseball unless you're throwing it.
Dave Winfield takes a strike. Winfield doubled to left field in the first inning. Yankees have just 2 base hits off Tommy John. The double by Winfield and a leadoff single by Andre Robertson. And here's Phillips again. This time he makes. Nope. Oh, my goodness. He's called out at first base. And the side is retired. Billy Martin's going out to argue. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Spencer Ross, Phil Rizzuto will carry you along on the Dodge Sports scoreboard. Score at the end of 3. It's tied. Yankees 1, Oakland 1.
Had retired. And here's Jose Canseco, the youngster born in Cuba, raised in Miami, who had 36 minor league home runs this season. And in his first at bat took a called third strike from Ron Guidry in a 1-2 pitch. Willie Randolph will have to hustle. Can't get the ball out of his glove. And the big fella Canseco got down the line pretty quickly. Goes an infield hit for Jose Canseco to lead off this 4th inning. And we watch you right here. And you heard the voice in the background in the previous play. That was Phil Rizzuto. That ball just hopped out of
he
hand.
Really was so far out ahead of himself, he lost his balance and couldn't control the ball.
Well, that was the voice that yelled safe. It was Rizzuto.
Yes, that was me, right. I thought Red Foley was a little generous on Kingman's line drive to Andre Robertson.
That's what we said. Looked like it should have been called an error.
Yeah, he didn't have to jump or anything.
Nope. Goes an earned run against Guidry.
That's right.
Here's Mike Davis. Strike 1. Now, Scooter had just been keeping a mark here on the counts that Guidry has had on the batters. And I started in the 2nd inning. He hasn't had 2 balls in a batter since the 2nd inning.
Is that right?
Everything 0-2, 1-2. He was 1-2 now on Canseco. And 0-1 here on Mike Davis. 1-1. He's got his good control tonight.
Yeah, well, in his last game is when he had the big 7-0 lead and then almost blew it, but did get credit for the win, and he did walk more than normal, right?
He walked 2, but he was behind on a lot of the batters, and he was struggling. He kept on taking those walks out behind the mound. That's strike 2, 1-2. There are control pitchers, and then there is Ron Guidry, who in 213 innings has walked 32.
That's tremendous.
That's an incredible figure. And he's 1-2 now here on Mike Davis. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Guidry try to get Davis to bite. There's Canseco on at first base. Fouled away. Canseco, as we said, was born in Cuba, raised in Miami. And he could swing a mean bat. In batting practice tonight, he hit one over the monument, Scooter.
No kid.
Into those bleachers that you see right behind Don Mattingly. Two pitch to Davis, and that's strike 3.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, tried to bunt, waved at a pitch that was outside, and Ron Guidry a strikeout number 4.
Watch this. This is weird. With 2 strikes on him, he missed it completely. Even if he had fouled it, he would have been out.
So there's 1 man away. The Yankees and the A's are tied at 1-1. Oakland's out hit New York 5-2. And Mike Heath, who reached on an error by Andre Robertson in the 2nd inning, steps in. It's a ground ball that simply went through Robertson's legs. That's popped up. Randolph out, Winfield in. Randolph says, I'll take it. And he does for the 2nd out.
Willie with that good range out there. Saves Winfield a lot of steps.
Control. And he is under control when he's out in that field. 2 men away. And Mike Gallego, the second baseman, who struck out swinging, steps in. Gallego 2 for 23 this season. Both the hits have come in the series against the Yankees. He's now 2 for 5. Strike one. Minnesota beat Toronto 6-3. Smithson over Dave Steve. Boston swept a doubleheader from Cleveland 11-9 at 7-4. Seattle over Detroit 8-2 in the 5th inning. That Western race, Milwaukee leads Kansas City 1-0 in the 3rd, and California 1-0 over Baltimore in the 3rd. And it's now 0-2.
I'm surprised they're trying to bunt on Guidry, who's really a Gold Glove and one of the most outstanding fielding pitchers in baseball.
I think in Gallego's case, it's out of necessity and out of a little bit of frustration. Because Guidry is throwing that slider's really breaking down and away and in on the right-handed hitters. And every once in a while, he gets a little of that old-fashioned mustard on the fastball and can't throw it as consistently as he once did. But he gets it in there. 1-2. Columbus trying to wrap up that International League series with Syracuse. They lead 2-1, and the Clippers lead Syracuse 3-1 in the 7th inning now. Playing up in Syracuse. 1-2 pitch. Ricky Henderson, playing shallow, is back and makes the catch. The side retired. No runs, an infield hit. The A's leave one, and through 3.5, we're still tied. The Yankees and Oakland at 1.
Highlight the upcoming Toronto Blue Jays series, September 12th through 15th. Fans attending the Yanks-Jays game Saturday night, greeted by sounds of traditional bagpipe music of Ireland, beginning at 7:45 p.m. Pre-game ceremonies will honor Irish Americans. Tickets for the 4-game Blue Jays series are going fast, so make your plans now. Spencer?
What a series that's going to be. The Yankees and Toronto. Here's Don Baylor to lead it off against Tommy John. Bottom of the 4th. Strike one. Baylor flied to center in his first at bat. Had a home run in the opening game of this series in the 1st inning. And this one's lashed foul. And Tommy John is ahead of Don Baylor, 0-2.
Guy who used to pitch just like Tommy John, Eddie Lopat, sitting down there counting pitches and scouting for the Montreal Expos.
What a pitcher he was.
And the reason I say he's a lot like John, Eddie could get 2 strikes on a hitter, and they'd hit the longest fouls, and everybody would ooh and ah. But that's what he wanted them to do. He'd change the pace inside so they pull it foul.
Dusty Baker may have a play, and it comes back for him. Almost came back a little too far, and he almost lost it. There's 1 man away. Lopat, Rashi, Reynolds. What a staff that was, boy.
And the great part about that staff, as we look at Baker, as Spencer said, he almost runs into the camera, then has to make a right turn. Makes the play, catches in the heel of the glove. But you'd get Lopat one day, and he'd get all that junk thrown up there. Yeah. Then Reynolds would come in with the fastball. Then Whitey Ford would come in, and he had a little of each. Changes, sliders, spitballs, a little bit of everything. And then Rashi would come in.
Whitey threw. You're saying Whitey? You accusing Whitey of throwing a spitball?
Yes.
Oh. Billy Sample.
Chairman of the board, Elson Howard. Poor Ellie, the late Elson Howard, used to help him out. And his hands were so strong, he'd rub the ball and loosen the cover.
There's a strike to Sample. 1 ball, 1 strike to Billy Sample. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, we're tied at 1-1. And Whitey had the great control like Guidry.
Oh, absolutely.
Right to Alfredo Griffin for the 2nd out. Yankees with only 2 base hits, a double by Winfield in the 1st inning. The Yankees scored their run without benefit of a base hit. Ricky Henderson walked, stole second. Mike Heath threw the ball into center field. Henderson went to third and scored on Don Mattingly's sacrifice fly. Then Winfield doubled. Andre Robertson had a single in the second inning, and he steps in right here. Since then, no base hits for the Yankees. Ball one. Andre's had a tough night in the field.
Boy, he really has.
Right center field. Long run for Davis. And he catches up to it. Good play by Mike Davis as that ball carried. And the side retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Tommy John. We've gone 4 here at the stadium. We're tied. The Yankees won and the A's won.
Of the year right here. Yankees with a good chance to pick up a full game on the Blue Jays, who already have lost to Minnesota.
So in the loss column, it is now 1.
Yep.
And the Yankees trailed by 2. Top of the order for Oakland as we start the 5th. Alfredo Griffin was fly to right, singled and scored the run for the A's. He stole second, went to third on a ground ball, and with 2 outs, Dave Kingman had a line drive that Andre Robertson had bounced off his glove. They ruled it a hit. And the count is 0-2, and Guidry continues to get ahead of the hitters. He did go to 2-2 on Mike Davis in the 4th inning, but then struck him out. Everything else has been 0-2, 1-2. Ricky Henderson has a bead. And there's 1 man out.
Third baseman, Tony Phillips.
Tony Phillips, who singled in the 1st, then bounced to short in the 3rd. Phillips is 5 for 10 in this series, including a home run. They're well stocked in the infield. They've got Bhakti and Davis at first. If Carney Lansford ever comes back, along with him at third. Oh, he cracks this one deep to left field. Back is Sample. Goodbye. It's a home run for Tony Phillips. His 2nd of the year, 2nd of this series. And the A's have taken a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 5th inning.
Unbelievable. He got his first RBI of the year here, right? In this series. First homer, now his 2nd homer. Switch hitter. Whipped the bat well. I think his first homer he hit batting left-handed.
Hit it batting left-handed.
Now he hits one here right-handed.
That was off Joe Cowley last night. He's been a consistent player for them, although this year he broke his foot in January working out at the Oakland Coliseum, and came back and in Yuma in spring training broke it again. So he's missed most of the season, but in the last 2 years he had played in more games than anybody on the Oakland A's. Steve Henderson. Count is 0-1. They say with him and Lansford and Griffin at short, second base. Donnie Hill's had a good year. He's been out for about a week. There's a strike, and once again, Guidry is ahead, 0-2. Yankees have fallen behind, 2-1. And just misses outside, 1-2. You saw Weiniger set up the glove in that spot, and that's exactly where Guidry put the ball. Hoping to get Henderson to wave at it out of the strike zone. A 1-2 pitch. That's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Steve Henderson. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The A's have taken the lead 2-1. Tomorrow afternoon, Phil Niekro goes for number 299 against Jose Rio. That's a base hit. So Henderson is now 2 for 3. And the A's with 7 base hits off Ron Guidry. Jose Rio, one-time Yankee young phenom. And on a sad note, the first phenom, a former teammate of yours, passed away last week, Dick Wakefield.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was a shame. Then right after him, big Johnny Lindell.
Yeah, that's right, Johnny Lindell. Got that big hit in 49 and helped the Yankees with the pennant.
Wasn't that something?
Here's Dave Kingman with 1 out, 1 on. It's fouled away.
I tell you, Johnny Lindell was the scourge of the infielders of the opposing infield. One time he hit little Nellie Fox on a double play and took him, and he hit him. And Nellie ended up in short left field. Then he hit Whitey Karowski in the World Series and almost hit him into the stands. The ball got away, and 2 runs scored, and the Yankees won that game in the World Series against the Cardinals.
The final week of the 49 series came up with a big double.
Oh,
and the Yankees
yes.
won a ball game. Count is 0-2 now on Dave Kingman. And then, of course, Lindell left the major leagues, learned how to throw a knuckleball with a catcher named Mike Sandlock, and came back and pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates for several years. 0-2 on Kingman. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Big John started out as a pitcher, and then he hit so well. He pitched when I was with Kansas City Blues, when Jerry Pretty and I and Johnny came up to the Yankees. But then the Yankee pitching staff was so loaded, they made an outfielder out of Johnny. He hit a lot of home runs.
He could hit the ball.
But then, as you say, he and Mike Sandlock teamed up. He went back to, that's when he was the first team to wear shorts out in the Pacific Coast League.
The Hollywood Stars.
Yes, right.
That's fouled away at the plate. Count still holds 1-2 to Dave Kingman. Checking through the scores. You just saw a moment ago Atlanta leading St. Louis 2-1 in the 4th inning. The Mets were beaten by the Dodgers today 7-6. And Chicago over Cincinnati 9-7. And have to check on just what Pete Rose did today. Needs 3, or needed 3. 2-1 Oakland, top of the 5th. 1 out. 1-2 to Kingman. And it's popped up. Willie Randolph. He's over in Bobby Meacham's position, and he makes the play.
Randolph's a little upset. I mean, Meacham's a little upset. Look at Meacham saying, what are you trying to do, break the put-out record?
Willie called him off.
The moon was in Meacham's eyes.
No, Willie said, I got it. Seniority.
Yeah.
2 men out. Dusty Baker, 0 for 2, mounts to second, pop to Randolph. Guidry keeping Henderson close. Columbus leading Syracuse now 4-2 in the 8th inning. If the Clippers win that game, they wrap up that International League Series. You've been in that ballpark in Columbus. Beautiful ballpark, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Big league all the way.
Guidry has yet to throw a pitch to Dusty Baker as he keeps Henderson close. A's about hit the Yankees 7-2. And Oakland leads 2-1. Meacham says, I'm going to take this one. And he does. Side retired. A run on the Tony Phillips homer. 2 hits. The A's lead 1 through 4.5. Oakland 2, the Yankees 1. We now pause for station identification.
Today's series finale. Take home a free Yankee thermos, compliments of Delwood. Back to school giveaway was originally scheduled for August 7th. Good seats still available, so be here tomorrow.
That's great little thermos to wrap up with the lunch. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Willie Randolph leading it off for the Yankees. Yankees trailing 2-1. Outside 2-0. Tommy John has walked 2. He is now retired. 7 straight Yankees. He's given up only 2 base hits. Yankees came out with the bats in their shoulders, and it worked.
Yep.
And they've been swinging early ever since. 3-0 now.
If you let him pitch, he'll get a lot of full counts. He'll be tired, and he'll walk a lot. Because most of the pitches you swing at are just out of the strike zone.
3-0 to Randolph.
Like that.
Yep, ball 4. He walked Henderson on 4 straight pitches back in the first inning. And a leadoff walk here to Willie Randolph puts the tying run on base. And Butch Weiniger, he walked in a 3-1 pitch back in the second inning. Yankees trying to battle back. Trailing by a score of 2-1. They were down 3-1 last night when a little 10 o'clock thunder struck. A 7-run 6th inning for the Yankees. And Weiniger shortened up and then pulled the bat back. 1-0. Willie Randolph on at first base. Gene Michael flashing the signs.
Tommy John, a good man to bunt against. And he doesn't bounce off that mound too well either.
Comes off here, but he has only 1 play. That's the first base, and Gallego very nearly had a problem with it. The sacrifice works. 1-4.
Shortstop, Bobby Meacham.
Butch had the bat forward instead of bringing it back at impact.
Kind of snapped at it.
Yep.
But it works. It moves Randolph down to second. There he is alongside of Alfredo Griffin. There is 1 out, and Bobby Meacham steps in. The Yankees are trailing 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Phillips holds Randolph and throws on to first base for the out.
That's when you get a little over anxious. Swing at those grounders that Tommy John throws up there.
First pitch.
Yep.
Phillips
playing a good third base. He's made some excellent plays over there.
Tommy John throws it up. It's so tempting.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have the patience.
Looks as big as a grapefruit. I think Ricky's due for his first home run in a long time. He hit that last one a ton, but the deepest part of the park.
Deep center field, and Mike Davis put it away. Henderson scoring his 117th run of the season in the first inning. Mantle and Maris at 132 in 1962. One and one. 2 men out. 2-1 Oakland, bottom of the 5th. The Yankees with a tying run in scoring position. And Tommy John's ahead of Ricky Henderson, 1-2. Henderson, who has been struggling at the plate, had a 2-for-3 night last night and a couple of walks. Remember when Ricky was hitting really well, he talked to the bat.
Yeah.
Now he's talking to himself.
And he's getting the wrong answers.
Start talking to the bat again.
That's right. Get no back talk. Or bat talk.
No bat talk. 1-2. And it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Willie Randolph down at second base. He's in scoring position with 2 men out here in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-1 Oakland lead. Well, California's tied Baltimore at 2 in the 5th. Milwaukee still leads Kansas City 1-0 in the 4th in the Battle of the West. Struck him out on a 2-2 pitch, and the side is retired. Tommy John's first strikeout, no runs. Will walk. The Yankees lead 1 through 5.
Leads 2-1, Spencer.
The go-ahead run in the 5th inning. Tony Phillips, first pitch, home run left field off Ron Guidry. The A's other run coming in the 3rd inning with Alfredo Griffin at 3rd. Dave Kingman's line drive popped out of Andre Robertson's glove. And here's the youngster from Cuba, Jose Canseco, who was struck out and had an infield hit. Ball 1.
Boy, he's got that open stance, but really steps into the ball. And you were saying, Spence, last night and tonight he hit some tremendous batting practice home runs.
Everybody standing around the cage watching this youngster hit. He can stroke the ball. 36 minor league home runs this year. 1-1. I can't remember the last time Guidry went behind 1-0, just as he did here to Canseco. 1-2. Both times he's gone ahead of Jose Canseco at 1-2. Struck him out the first time, and then a little top ground ball that got by Guidry. Willie Randolph tried to make the play and was unable to come up with it for an infield hit. Two and two. Tell you, he doesn't look intimidated up there, Phil.
Nope. He's stepping in everything.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And it's popped up. Winfield in short right field makes the play for the out. 1 man away.
Center fielder, Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, in his last at bat with 2 strikes, made a feeble attempt at bunting at the ball and missed it. Guidry struck out 4 in the game. He has yet to walk a batter. Ball 1. He hasn't gone to 3 balls on a batter yet.
Sometimes that works against you, though.
Yeah,
when you're around the, you're right around the
Too
plate.
close.
Yeah.
That's fouled out of play. 1-1. Well, the batters feel they can dig in a little more. It's that great Ryan Duran story about, I think it was with Ted Williams. Williams said, so we watched this pitch 2-1. I think it was a situation where somebody said to Williams something about Ryan Duran, and Duran said, well, who are you talking about? So that guy was just at bat. He said, I didn't recognize. Who was that guy? I can't see that far. And Williams realized at that point, hey, you better watch out when this fella throws a ball. Check swing foul. And the count is even at 2-2. Because he could throw, Ryan Duran, into those big glasses, big thick glasses.
Well, that was part of his ploy,
Yeah, he'd throw
the first pitch back, hit the screen, or in the stands, and he'd take the glasses off and take a handkerchief and everybody stepped in the bucket.
2-2 to Mike Davis. And Guidry strikes him out for a second time. Strikeout number 5 for the Gator. And there are 2 men away. Yankees trailing in the ball game by a score of 2-1. And Mike Keith steps in. He reached on a Robertson error in the second that didn't hurt the Yankees, and then popped to Randolph. It's fouled away. Home plate umpire Larry Barnett doing a little house cleaning. Yankees with only 2 base hits. The A's have come up with 7. The last time the Yankees faced Tommy John, he went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs. Right field. And Dave Winfield is there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Ron Guidry. The side retired. Nothing across for Oakland. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the A's 2, the Yankees 1.
They're the toughest teams in the American League East. The Blue Jays come to the stadium. Big 4-game series, September 12th through 15th. Tigers and Orioles in town for a 7-game homestand, the 24th through the 30th. So make plans now. The big one, of course, the Blue Jays, September 12th through 15th. All right, Spencer.
Okay, Don Mattingly steps in as we approach 10 o'clock. Last night we had some 10 o'clock thunder here at Yankee Stadium.
You can have it a little early, can't you?
Well, 10:15.
All right. That's it. You got the 10 in there.
It's 9:45, but it's 9:45 if you're looking at it that way. Ball 1. Mattingly batting in the 2nd spot in the order tonight. It's the 46th game. He has hit in that spot. And he's at 367 with 14 home runs. There's 50. Say goodbye. We're tied at 2-2 as Don Mattingly parks it into right field for a home run number 28 to tie the ball game at 2-2.
He is unbelievable, isn't he? I mean, I don't know where he generates that power. And fans, you know what happens every time a Yankee hits a home run. Hey, Don Mattingly, this bud's for you. I mean, people say to me, Spencer, who does he remind you of? I think he's a composite of so many former Yankees and other greats. You know, he's not as big as Gehrig, but he hits with power. Great first baseman. Hits a lot like Roger Maris did. Not as big as Mantle. And where does he get it from?
Well, he never hit more than 10 home runs in a season as a minor leaguer. Crowd wants him to come out. I was talking to Danny Pasqua, the youngster who had a home run last night, and Danny was saying, watching him, just watching his mechanics, you learn.
Yep.
Just by studying Don Mattingly. It's a pleasure to watch Don Mattingly play this game. Here's Dave Winfield. Ball 1. We're tied now at 2-2.
That's been the Yankee story in this winning streak. Out hit all the time by the other team, but they always get that extra run.
There you see it. The A's with 7 hits to 3 for the Yankees. We've got a tie ball game as we play the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Dave Winfield has his second base hit of the ball game, and this one's going to go as a double as it's touched by a fan as it bounced up. So 2 doubles for Winfield. He's in scoring position with nobody out here in the 6th.
Now, Tommy John got both those pitches up, the one to Mattingly and this one to Winfield. Bell tie to Winfield would be about my head high, but and he hits a bullet and the fan touches it right there. Ground rule double.
So Winfield is at second. And immediately we're getting some activity in the bullpen. That's Steve Ontiveros up for the Oakland A's. He came in last night, gave up that 3-run home run to Dan Pasqua. Dusty Baker, Mike Heath talking to Tommy John. And this crowd has come to life as we approach 10 o'clock.
Don't say 9:48. Say what'd you say? Quarter to 10.
12 of 10.
12 of 10. All right.
10 o'clock thunder. Don Baylor steps in. He's 0 for 2.
Look at this.
And a pretty good bunt, but John throws him out. He bunted it nicely, but too close to the mound. But Winfield moves over to third base, and it's ruled a sacrifice, 1-3.
I wonder how many times Baylor has sacrificed in his career.
And if he pushes that one a little bit closer to third base, it's a base hit. He gets Winfield over to third on this bunt with one out. And Billy Sample will step in. Ken Kaiser, the third base umpire tonight, chatting with Winfield.
Speaking of Ken Kaiser, you know, he has that big Ken Kaiser Memorial Dinner every year, raises money for the youngsters up there, Billy Martin, Don Mattingly, and Reggie Jackson, the three who are going to appear there in Rochester. That's November 13th. There he is. I walked in with him tonight from the parking lot, you know.
Nobody could see you. You were hidden.
Not only that, I mean, one hand, he just kidding, he picked me up. He said, did you get on me last night on that play at first? I said, no. No way, Ken. You were right to get mad. They shouldn't have shown it. He said, you don't know how close I came to going upstairs and charging that man up there. Yeah,
Billy Sample takes ball one, 1-0. Sample's 0 for 2. He bounced to third and hit a line drive that Griffin speared at shortstop. Gene Michael down at third.
I haven't seen a squeeze play in so long. I still haven't.
Oh, we saw one in Oakland. Wayne Murphy laid down. Billy Martin flashing the signs in the 15th inning. And Murphy was called out for interference after he bunted the ball. Mike Keith is going to walk out to the mound. And Larry Barnett follows him. Tommy John, who had limited the Yankees to 2 base hits going into the 6th inning. And a leadoff homer by Mattingly, number 28, his second RBI of the night, gives him 117. Winfield follows with a double. He moves to third on Baylor's sacrifice. And the count is 2-0 to Sample. Pitch out of the strike zone and a check swing foul. 2-1.
Sample really looking at Gene Michael. And you know, back when we were playing, if you look more than 3 seconds,
The sign was off.
Oh, absolutely. You got to get it right away.
Yankees trying to come back here. They're tied now at 2. Toronto beaten today by Minnesota. And the pitch out, Winfield is caught. The squeeze was on, and the pitch out, the throw to Phillips. Here comes Winfield to the plate.
Save! Holy cow! Heath made a bad throw to third, and then Phillips made a bad throw home. And I think Heath ran him a little too far.
Well, Phillips bobbles the ball here as it's thrown back, Bill.
Yeah, it's a little bad throw there, and he has to jump for it. And Tommy tried to tag him backhander, but missed him. Oh! Well, I still haven't seen a squeeze play, but it worked.
And Winfield thought he was a dead duck right here. But watch Phillips. He bobbles that ball momentarily, and his throw is up high. And Winfield sneaks under him.
Good broken field running by Winfield.
And the
good
Yankees,
hip job he gave him.
It is ruled a steal of home.
Holy cow.
They give Winfield a stolen base on the play.
And you know, you got to give Jackie Moore or Mike Heath credit with a 2-0 count calling for a pitch out. They were on the ball in that respect, but the rundown throws were not too good.
You were asking about Don Baylor with sacrifices. And that's the 16th sacrifice of his career.
Oh, that's a lot.
Good play by Phillips. And he just throws out Billy Sample for the second out. It's kind of conjecture, but had Winfield been still at third base on this play, he would have scored anyway.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Good play by Phillips. Watch how quickly he comes up. Sample can run. He just does nip him.
So with 2 men out, Andre Robertson steps in. The Yankees have come up with 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning to take a 3-2 lead. Ball 1. Ball, 1 strike to Andre Robertson, who singled in the 2nd inning and was thrown out by Steve Henderson trying to stretch it into a double and then fly to center. Tommy John throws out Andre Robertson. Side retired. 2 runs for the Yankees. Mattingly's home run. The big blow. Winfield stealing home. And on the Cannon camera scoreboard after 6, it's the Yankees 3 and open.
There's Pags.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And now
Batting
we're going to have a pinch hitter
for Gallego.
for Gallego.
Rob Piccolo. Number 8.
Rob Piccolo. And he'll probably stay in the ball game and play. Piccolo, .284 battle, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. Louisiana Lightning on the mound. And there's a foul, strike 1. Nobody out, nobody on here. Top of the 7th, Yankees leading 3-2. One ball, 1 strike. Guidry has allowed 7 base hits, has not walked anyone, struck out 5, and allowed 2 runs. Strike 2. Rising fastball. Well, Mr. White has joined us. Did you ever steal home, White? That was the easiest steal of home I ever saw. Foul back out of play.
I've attempted.
Oh, no, yeah?
Been thrown out by 20 feet with the left-handed pinch hitter up in Houston. I just kept running. I didn't want to see Johnny Keane.
No, well, it's a little dangerous. I don't care whether the left-hander's up or a right-hander. Base hit on a high fastball to right field. That's base hit number 8. City, that
Shortstop.
White is really something. Last night he cooked. What kind of food was that last night?
Gumbo.
Gumbo food last tonight. Chinese food.
No, Dewey Wong gave us that Chinese food.
You didn't cook that?
No.
I didn't. It was delicious.
You ever eat over there?
No, but I've heard of it.
He sent it for you.
Dewey?
Yep. He's been on commercials, you know.
No kidding.
American Express commercials.
Does he have a Chinese accent, or is he?
Well, he is Chinese.
Oh, he is Chinese.
Yes.
I kind of figured with the name Wang that he wasn't Italian. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Alfredo Griffin has flied to right, singled, stolen a base and scored, and flied to center. One and 1.
Well, these A's are pesky.
Yes, they are. 8 base hits. This guy, I would not throw this guy a breaking pitch. He doesn't look good going after it, but he swings off balance, and that's how he got his hit. Oh, perfect double play ball. Backhand flip, double play. Hey, well, I'm telling you what, they had a hustle to make that double play.
Well, they did. They had a speedster going down the line on Alfredo Griffin. And here's that breaking ball, and Griffin slices it 1 hop to Willie Randolph. You mentioned William with that good backhanded flip to Bobby Meacham. Meacham coming across the bag. Good throw. And they just snipped Griffin at first base.
Watch Meacham. I don't think he touches the bag. Well, they give the shortstops that break because it's a
They
difficult
always give the
position.
shortstops
That's
a
right,
break.
a phantom tag. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Yankees leading 3-2. And here's Tony Phillips. He's been the hitting star of this series so far for Oakland. Strike one.
See how long he took to get around the bases?
Yeah.
He's going to run those bases like a big slugger. They're going to have to knock him down. Little guy like that's supposed to run around there
Like
15
Randolph,
seconds.
right?
That's right.
All right. We'll see what happens here. He's 2 for 3 in this game. 1-1. Single, a double, and bounce to short. Or rather, single, a homer, and bounce. And another base hit, his 3rd of the ball game. Ricky Henderson up with it. And that's base hit number 9. We got some action at Yankee bullpen, White, but I can't see quite that far.
Well, Dave Righetti's up, and also Brian Fisher. 2 people who can throw some heat.
All right.
Unadulterated fire. Flame.
Yeah, they really can.
What else do they call the fastball? The number 1.
Hummer. Yeah, number 1. I like that, too. Now, here's a guy. Tomorrow, though, we got the old knuckleballer going for win number 299. You know, here's a mystery. This guy's batting .336. I know he hasn't been up that much, but he's a pretty good hitter. He's got 2 hits in this game. Strike one.
Well, it's hard for them to break into this outfield of Davis and Murphy. They use Baker in left and at first base.
Right.
Henderson basically a singles hitter.
Phillips gets back.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Two men are out in the top of the 7th. Strike 2. Guidry has 5 strikeouts. And he gets back. Well, the Yankee number 1 farm team, Columbus Clippers, beat Syracuse 4-2, so they've won that series in the playoffs. Runner going, pitch out, and they got him. What a throw by Weiniger. Holy cow. 2-4. The pitch out. They got him. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. Quick tag by Willie. And at the end of 6.5, it's the Yankees 3, Oakland 2, and we pause for station identification.
And we've got a couple of defensive changes here for the Athletics. We've got a new third baseman, Rob Piccolo, and Tony Phillips moves from third base to second. Scooter?
All right, William, and there's Piccolo in at third. Willie Randolph bounced to third and walked. And hits one to straightaway center. A late jump by Davis, but he gets back and makes the catch. Here is sliding into second, trying to steal. Oh, man, does he bounce?
They call that a belly whopper.
Yeah. That was Tony Phillips trying to steal second. He was caught. Here's Butch Weiniger walked and sacrificed. Ball 1. Bouncer. Oh, backhanded by Piccolo and throws him out. Tough play. Nice backhand play.
And again, ball's out over the plate. Weiniger pulls it. Piccolo in, has to go to his right. Play the tough backhanded hop. Gets it up in the heel of the glove. course, then he's got plenty of time to make the play to the first base.
You know, I've never seen so many infielders with great arms as I've seen recently.
Well, you had a great arm.
No, I didn't. But these kids, I mean, they can all fire. Every
Well, they're all
shortstop.
pumping iron.
Oh, that's what it is. All right, Bobby Meacham butts right back to John, and he throws him out. Quick inning, 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 7, it's the Yankees 3 and Oakland 2.
Steal of home by Dave Winfield, just like the Scooter used to do it.
That's it. It's exciting. This is some Yankee team. I mean, just about every game, Bill, they're out hit.
They find some way to pick up runs.
That's absolutely true. Henderson was at bat when Tony Phillips was thrown out trying to steal. He's 2 for 3. And a bouncer up the middle, base hit. Now he's 3 for 4. I don't know how long Billy's going to go with Guidry. Of course, that's base hit number 10 off Louisiana Lightning.
Well, we're going to get some double-barreled action again in the Yankee bullpen. I see Righetti getting up. 2 catches are going over, so somebody else will probably Righetti and Fisher again.
Yep.
They had thrown a couple of innings ago.
And I'm sure Billy would like to have one of them ready for this guy, Kingman, who lined to third. And then he hit the exact, in slow motion replay, line drive to Andre Robertson, and Andre dropped the line drive. They gave Kingman a hit and an RBI, which was a little unusual. That's low ball 1, and then he popped to second.
Well, for some reason, Robertson has a slow glove, but we've got Paliulo over there now.
Right. There's Pags. Nobody out. Yankees leading 3-2. Try to pull that fastball up and away. 1-1. No way. Wide stance by Kingman. He's thrown over a lot with Steve Henderson over there. He hasn't attempted a steal all year, and Guidry has thrown a lot over the first. Strike 2.
Skilled by association.
Yep.
He looks like he can run.
He really does. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Struck him out on a bad pitch. Strikeout number 6.
And this is Guidry's good overhand fastball. Kingman's late with it. And that's the 100th time this year Kingman goes down on strikes. He tried to lift and get up there, but he just couldn't get up there quickly enough.
All right, 1 man out. Here's Dusty Baker. Bounce to second, pop to second, pop to short. One man out in the top of the 8th. California and Baltimore tied 3-3 in the 7th. Strike 1.
That big right-hander number 50 is Jay Howell. And Steve Olivares also with Howell.
Guidry making a lot of throws.
That trade, Henderson, Howell, Burtsis, Rijo, Javier, helped both ball
Oh,
clubs.
yes. They say that's what a trade's supposed to do, and that one really did.
Yeah, but do you believe that's why you make a trade? You think you're giving...
No, you think you're getting the better of the deal.
You think you're giving somebody some chicken feathers.
Yes.
And you think you're getting steak.
Yeah. 0-2 the count on Baker. And the crowd wanting another strikeout from Louisiana Lightning. But he throws to first.
But when you make a deal like that, that gives you a second chance to try to trick him.
It does happen a lot. Certain clubs get tricked an awful lot. Another throw to first. Guidry looking for win number 18. Guidry must really think he's going to take off.
Well, he's probably the only one.
He doesn't have a big lead, number one. And that's fouled out of play. In case you didn't hear, I'm sure you have, Minnesota beat Toronto this afternoon 6-3. So the Yankees with a good chance to pick up a full game. One ball, 2 strikes. To left center, Henderson digging. He's going to get there. Makes the catch.
Well, that ball got up and just stopped.
It did. But Henderson almost ran too far again.
Here it is again. Henderson sees the ball is really going. Now he's got to stop.
Yep.
And the ball comes back to him.
Jose Canseco.
All right, here's Jose Canseco. Struck out, had an infield hit and fly to right. And Weininger going to go out and remind Guidry, this kid's got some power. They say in batting practice he's hit some real tape measure jobs.
What time was it?
Yeah, that's they used to call him
6 o'clock
6
hitters.
o'clock lightning, yeah.
Only thing, game starts at 8, but he's dangerous.
Yep.
Kid, if you get that ball in over the plate. Guidry's been pitching him away and making him reach for the ball.
He's got a weird stance, but he really steps into the ball. Whoa. He does take a good cut. Strike one. And 2. Two out. Yankees leading 3-2. Top of the 8th. They want the strikeout. Bounce slowly to Pags. Bad throw. I don't know whether he did not make the turn as Mattingly went down to tag him.
Here again, the pitch outside, and Canseco trying to pull the ball. Pagliarulo throws off balance. He actually, with this kid running, probably could have set himself a little better, but he throws the ball past Mattingly. And Pagliarulo will get an error, and Henderson goes to third base. Third base play hasn't been that good lately.
No, it hasn't. Absolutely. Now Mike Davis, who's popped to short and struck out twice,
Maybe they ought to let the grass grow that side.
That's a good idea. Slow that ball down more. So runners at first and third, now 2 men out. Strike one. Back 0-2. Boston beat Cleveland in a doubleheader, and Seattle leading Detroit 12-5 in the 8th. Nothing in 2. 2 out, 2 on. A bouncer foul.
Mattingly tried to get to that ball before it went foul.
He's always alert.
He's always thinking.
Yep. All right, still 0-2 on Mike Davis. Strikes. Runner going, but he struck him out. Big strikeout for Guidry, number 7. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 men left. At the end of 7½, Yankees 3 and Oakland 2. Henderson walked, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. Fly to center in the third, struck out in the 5th. In 56 innings of pitching, Ontiveros has allowed just 28 base hits. Now that's pretty good pitching. Strike one. Strike 2. Nothing in 2. Bat hit the catcher's glove on the way back. If he had done that in the act of swinging, he would have been awarded first base, catcher's interference. But time had been called. Billy Martin talking with Gene Monahan, the trainer. Ooh, good curveball. 1 ball. Hey, White, did I get balled out tonight?
By who?
I went in one of those suites.
Yeah.
And there must have been a lot of guys who put a few bob down on the games, you know?
Yeah.
They said that I don't give the scores enough so that they know the teams they're betting on.
No.
What they're doing. Oh, did they rip me?
No, they're just good baseball fans who want to know the score.
Yes, you're right. But they still rip me. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they were mad. So there's the scores. California 3, Baltimore 3. Henderson rips one to left. And making the catch, Steve Henderson in left field. 1 away. And here he is. And at bat. No, it's not. All right. Anyway, I'll tell you what he did. He hit a home run. He is 1 for 2, 2 RBIs, and takes the strike. Going to get a look at it now. Breaking pitch from Tommy John. I don't know where he generates that power from, I'll tell you.
But shows you don't have to swing hard, leave your feet, muscle the ball. All you've got to do is wait on it, get the head of the bat out.
That's what he does. Two balls and a strike to Mattingly, batting .325, 28 homers, and 117 runs batted in.
And he's driven in Henderson 43 of those.
Foul back. So Henderson has scored 117 times, and Mattingly's driven in 117 runs. One out, nobody on. Yanks lead 3-2. And a little looper that's going to drop in for a base hit. Man, when you're hot, White.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Well, if Mattingly hadn't gotten off to such a slow start because of the knee operation over the winter, I think he'd be fighting Boggs and Brett.
Absolutely. Yeah, he hurt himself just prior to spring training doing exercises at home. All right, here's Winfield. Dave has doubled twice, bounced to third, and has a stolen base. Stole home, as a matter of fact, in the fifth.
Well, Olivares has got to be mad now. That's the second time that's happened to him.
And he was just coming through with his pitch. I'm a little surprised that Barnett allowed Winfield to call time. Umpire does not have to do that. Strike one.
Well, looking ahead, Phil, for the A's or the Athletics in the ninth inning, Heath, Pichelo, and Griffin do up.
Oh, there'll be some pinch hitting there, I think. Hit his bat and goes foul. Break for Winfield, who never left the batter's box. He's still down on one knee. Mattingly back to first.
Well, we've got Brian Fisher still throwing. Looks like we might get Fisher in the ninth inning. There's Fisher.
Yep.
He has really made a job for himself. Normally, you'd have Righetti out there in this situation.
That's right. And I think Fisher, in a spot like that, has got a little better control than Rags, who gives you a thrill every time, does the job. Runner going, bounce slowly to third, and Pichelo just gets Winfield. Two men out.
Here it is again, Pichelo charging. We saw his arm earlier when he threw out Weiniger, and he gets Winfield by a step.
All right, Mattingly at second, two out, and Don Baylor, the batter. He's flied to center, popped to first, and sacrificed.
What's that? Is that the march of the Toreadors?
No, I don't think so. No. Strike one to Baylor.
Dan Pasqua is on deck. There's Pasqua.
Strong young man, that Pasqua. Foul upstairs, out of play. Nothing in 2. 2 out. Yanks lead 3-2. Bottom of the 8th. Old Man River, Phil Niekro pitches tomorrow, looking for win number 299. Struck him out. So Ontiveros does a good job. No runs are hit, no errors, a man left. End of 8. Yankees 3, Oakland 2.
8 Dodge dealers who invite you to test drive Portrait in Motion, the 1985 Dodge Lancer. Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. Your Toyota dealer and the unique 1985 Toyota van. It's a whole new movement changing the world of vans. And by the New York Yankees. Now Louisiana Lightning is gone. We've got Brian Fisher here in the 9th inning. Guidry won 8 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 10 hits. Struck out 7. Did not walk an Athletic. And now we've got right-hander Brian Fisher. Fisher is making his 47th appearance for the Yankees. He's won 4, lost 3, and he has 10 saves. And we're going to get some pinch hitters now, Scooter. First of all, Dave Collins will pinch hit for Mike Heath. Then I see Dwayne Murphy on deck.
Yep.
He would bat for Rob Piccolo.
All right. So Collins, switch hitter, batting .250 on the year. 14 doubles, 4 triples, 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. He's gotten a couple of infield hits against the Yankees. Good speed. Upstairs, foul, strike 1. Top of the 9th, Yanks lead 3-2. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Bill mentioned Fisher can get that ball over. In 84 innings, he's only walked 27 men and struck out 71. Popped him up. And Billy Sample makes the catch. 1 man out. And now Dwayne Murphy.
Your attention, please.
Yeah. If he guesses right where Fisher throws the ball, forget it.
Yep.
Boy, that one he hit against Whitson the other night.
Murphy. Number 21.
But you can also strike him out.
Wow, I'll say. Is that 108 times he struck out this year?
That is true.
Wow.
He swings for home runs.
Yes,
If he gets a single, then that's just incidental.
He's got 19 homers on the year. 1 out. Top of the 9th. Strike 1. Slider outside, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. good cut of that one. 2-2.
Just a little bit late.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Well, it's good when you get in the late innings. You have somebody who can throw that ball in there 92, 93, 94, 95. They have to hurry the bats.
That's for sure. What an advantage that is. Foul tip, and boy, that got Weiniger. Woo, that hurt. I don't know whether he got it right off the knee. Oh, he did.
Right on top of the shin guard.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. They check. He did not swing. Ken Kaiser. All muscle down there. Full count on Murphy. Low, ball 4. So Fisher was ahead on the count and then walked him.
Got too careful.
Yep. Alfredo Griffin. And this game is fly to right single, fly to center, and bounced into a double play.
There's Dave Righetti. He's ready.
All right.
I don't see where they can get to Righetti, though, soon. Unless Fisher just loses it. All right-handed batters, switch hitter Phillips. Henderson bats right-handed. Kingman right-handed. Baker right-handed.
All right.
Of course, they've got Bruce Bochy over there. They send him up. We might get Righetti.
All right. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Dwayne Murphy has stolen 4 bases and been caught 4 times. Foul, and it nicked Weiniger again.
Murphy's going to steal a base. He's got to get a better lead than he's getting. He's only going about 2 steps off first base.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Liner, Henderson's going to get there and makes, oh boy. I thought that was going to take off and go over his head.
Here's again a ball down, and here a little shoveled by the shortstop Alfredo Griffin. That's how he got his base hit off of Guidry earlier, though, when he looped one into center field. Ball takes off, but Henderson stays with it.
Well, they got to watch out for this kid. He's hit 2 home runs in this series, 1 left-handed, 1 right-handed.
Yeah, but he's going to have to hurry the bat against this fellow Fisher.
That's true. He had his 3 base hits off Ron Guidry. 2 out. Top of the 9th, Yankees lead 3-2. Ball 1. Brian Fisher trying to wrap it up for Louisiana Lightning. Ron Guidry. Fly ball to left, that should do it. Billy Sample makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Final score, Yankees 3 and Oakland 2.
And now an Old Spice salute to Ron Guidry. Guidry went 8 innings, allowed just 2 runs on 10 hits. Ron struck out 7 and did not walk a batter. And Guidry picked up his 18th win against 5 losses. Here's an Old Spice salute to Ron Guidry. Thanks for a real pro performance. So the Yankees win it by a score of 3-2. And that coupled with the Minnesota Twins beating Toronto 6-3. The Yankees are now just a game and a half back of the first place Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East. The Yankees 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Oakland 2 runs, 10 hits. They had 1 error. Ron Guidry the winner, 18-5. Tommy John the loser, 4-7. And Brian Fisher came on in the 9th inning, picked up his 11th save. We'll be back with more from Yankee Stadium right after this.